Good afternoon, everyone. Will the Government Relations, Ethics, and Transparency Committee meeting of July 1, 2025 please come to order? It is 1:32 p.m. I'm your chair, Nohelani Uuhajens. Members, in accordance with the Sunshine Law, please identify by name who, if anyone, is in the room, vehicle, workspace with you today. Minors do not need to be identified. Let's see, Committee Vice Chair Member Paulton, are you on? If not, we will come back to her. Councilmember Tom Cook, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Councilmember Gabe Johnson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair, council members, committee members. There's no testifiers at the Lanai District Office, and I'm alone in my house. The dog is outside snoring, so I'm here and ready to work. Mahalo, Chair.
Cute, thank you. Let's go back to Committee Vice Chair Tamara Paulton, good afternoon.
Aloha, Winala Kako, streaming live and direct from my kitchen table. Currently, it's just me and the unknown minor canine, the 4 unnamed minor children, and the named husband should be back shortly.
Thank you. I'm glad your husband has a name.
Yeah.
Councilmember Tasha Kama, I'm assuming will be with us shortly. Council Chair Alice Lee, good afternoon.
Talofa Lava, Chair.
Talofa Lava. Councilmember Rollins Fernandez, I don't see. She should be with us shortly. Councilmember Shane Sinensi, good afternoon. Talofa Lava.
Alofa Lava, Chair, here at my home office. I'm here by myself, and there are no testifiers in the panel.
Thank you very much. And Councilmember Yukile Sugimura, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Talofa Lava, and looking forward to a productive meeting.
Thank you. From Corporation Counsel, we have Deputy Corporation Counsel Christy Trentholm, and Yukari Murakami is online with us if we need her today. We also have Jody Yoshida with Boards and Commissions Liaison, as well as Rissa Tamho, Boards and Commissions Liaison, and Kelly Shen Davison should be with us online as well, as we will be discussing his appointment to the Salary Commission. We have our committee staff, which include Maria Leon, Committee Secretary, Casey Apo Takayama, Senior Legislative Analyst, Clarissa McDonald, Legislative Analyst, Peter Hanano, Legislative Attorney, and Jean Pokipala, Council Services Assistant Clerk. Please see the last page of the agenda for information regarding meeting connectivity. Do we have any testifiers signed up? Do I have to read it or no? Grand. Well, considering we don't see anybody testifying, let's begin by going to Resolution 25-133, the appointment of a member to the Salary Commission. By correspondence dated and received on June 12th, 2025, the Mayor transmitted Resolution 25-133 to consider Kelly Shane Davidson to a nomination as a nominee to the Salary Commission for a term expiring March 31st, 2030. The Council's 30-day deadline to approve or disapprove the nomination is July 12th, 2025. Copies of the board listing and application for the nominee have been uploaded to Granicus. Thank you, Maria. As you may have noticed on the agenda, this item was posted for no legislative action today. Since our deadline to approve or disapprove the nominees is July 12th, I requested a resolution be posted today on the July 8th council meeting agenda for consideration. My intention for today is to hear from the Boards and Commissions Liaison, Jody Yoshida, to provide opening remarks on the mayor's nomination, and then to receive any opening comments from Mr. Davidson. Following that, I'll ask for testimony on the item again, close public testimony, and get into discussion, members, so we don't have to do this on the floor. So right now, I'm going to ask Ms. Yoshida for any comments, if you have any. Oh, okay, Rissa, thank you.
Aloha mai kako. Kelly Davison serves as a Senior Executive Vice President for Exodus Financial Partners, located here on Maui. Kelly graduated with a degree in international business from the University of Texas, El Paso. Over the last 20 years, he has built multiple successful businesses in retail, wholesale, and e-commerce. He currently manages businesses in the financial industry across 12 states. Kelly is a retired major from the Army Reserves in military intelligence after 24 years of service. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Mr. Davidson, do you have any opening remarks that you would like to share with us? Oh, shucks, you're muted still. Is he unmuted on our end?
Kelly, you are unmuted on our end. If you're having difficulties unmuting, if it's not allowing you, you may need to leave the meeting and rejoin, and then hopefully the mic and camera will let you unmute yourself.
Okay, and while he leaves us and rejoins, let's say good afternoon to Member Kama.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, members. I didn't realize it was so late. Pardon me.
That's okay, good times go fast, and it was our lunch break. That's why we always start late. Well, we will wait for Mr. Davidson. Should we see if we have any testifiers? If not, I will then close public testimony. Written testimony will continue to be accepted. Thank you very much. We will now wait for Mr. Davison, and then we will have a 3-minute questioning period after he rejoins us. And we can ask all the questions, so we don't have to do that during our council meeting. Mr. Davison? Can you unmute now? There's a little mic, none, on the top. If not, maybe we can give him the number to call in.
Does anybody have a question?
I don't know. Hello, how are you? Okay, we're gonna try to call him, and you know what? In the meantime, let's take a 2-minute recess. We will come back at 1:41. Will the great committee please reconvene? It is 1:44 p.m. Member Paulton, do you need to claim an adult member with you right now?
Yeah, I have an adult male in the house, just Pauhana. His name is George Vieira.
Thank you. Aloha, George. And then we will move. Wait, look, my camera not even on. Hi. Okay, we are going to begin with asking questions with Mr. Davison. And why don't we begin by my asking you why you are interested in the Salary Commission and where do you see your presence and its benefit on the commission? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to consider me today. I believe that my interest in the Salary Commission is to get more involved into the Maui Council, as well as everything that it provides to its community. I've been building businesses for many years in Maui and have been a contributor through those means. But by participating in any way that I can to help with the council in providing greater benefits, helping people, the locals, everything like that, I saw this as an opportunity to become a part of the great things that you guys do and help in any way that I can.
Thank you, members. Does anybody else have any other questions? If not, I can ask Member Rollins Fernandez typical questions, but we will go with Member Kama because I see your hand up. Thank you, Member Kama.
Thank you, Chair. I must have the wrong information because I have Mr. Davison, but I also have him as Planning Commission. And did I miss something earlier because I came late, Chair?
No, you did not.
I think that's what he wanted to do, but
I
they
think
put
he
him
was-
on this one instead.
Yes, I think he was
Okay,
interested
okay.
in serving on the Planning Commission, but I believe either IMB or through the course of whatever happens before they get here, they moved him to the Salary Commission. So that's what we're discussing today.
Okay, so Salary Commission. Okay. I have to reroute my brain to go there instead of planning. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Members, any other questions? Member Paulton, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Davison, for your willingness to serve. I just wanted to ask, was the Salary Commission your number 2 choice if the Planning Commission was your number 1 choice? I mean, looking over your resume, you seem super qualified to do anything, and I just want to make sure that we're making the best use of your skills and talents.
Thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words. Yes, the Planning Commission was my initial request. At the time, there was an opening for the Planning Commission, and that was mainly why I was applying for it. As far as I knew, Salary Commission was not open and available at that time. As I went through the interview process, the Planning Commission seats were filled, and I did request what other seats were open. Upon that review, the Salary Commission seat did open up, and I requested to be considered for that position.
Okay, and like nothing else caught your eye, like civil service or anything like that?
Good question. I wasn't too sure what other positions all were open. When I heard about the Salary Commission, this was all before the salary topics were heavily debated and talked about here in recent months and stuff. So I did apply more than 8 months ago before all of this. And so I thought, it would be a great opportunity to be involved and be able to participate. Now, all that time has passed, and I understand things are not quite as active as it once was. It's still of interest to me, and of course, any opportunity to serve, I'm open. That's what I'm here to say is I'm open to other positions. I'm just looking for an opportunity to where I might be of benefit, help serve. Salary Commission I thought was a great way, but I am open and all ears to whatever might be available.
Okay, cool. I guess, I mean, one of the main issues that we seem to have sometimes is quorum, but now as we're filling up the seats, it's not such a big of an issue. But you think through your line of work that you'll be able to make the meetings and things like that?
Yes, I believe so. I do run a business. I run a financial business that operates in about 12 different states at the moment. Yes, I do have a very busy schedule, but when there's something on the schedule, like you guys are very well about having all the days, times, everything like that, I can fit that in, especially when I know ahead of time. So the answer is yes.
Okay, cool. If you happen to know any accountant threes in your line of work, send them our way, because we just learned that finance is really looking for accountant threes.
All right, will do. I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you for my opportunity. So nice to meet you virtually, Mr. Davison, and thank you again for your willingness to serve.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Member Paulton. I'm sure finance appreciates the plug, because you're right, we need accountants. Members, any other questions for Mr. Davison? I'm gonna go with Member Johnson, followed by Member Sinensi.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Davidson, for joining us today and your willingness to serve. I'll tell you a little bit of a story about how what happened to me is when I first applied, I wasn't a council member, I was just a John Q. Public, and I applied for a planning commission, and the same thing happened where they said, well, how about this commission? And when you said you're just looking for a place to serve, I understand that feeling, because I was just there trying to help the community. So I really appreciate your response to that question. And I know that Councilmember Paulton asked about your availability. So I'm just curious, you operate a lot of businesses. So of course you look at folks' salaries and wages. I guess my basic question is one job enough for Maui County? Do people need higher wages? I'd like to hear your opinion on your thoughts on, the wages in the county. Are they fair?
Yeah, that's a great question, especially as we look at cost of living in Maui and Hawaii in general. Let's just be transparent. It's too expensive. They're priced out of paradise. More and more families moving away from Hawaii, going back to the mainland than ever before. After the Lahaina fires, we saw that start to rise on an exponential level, where people just could have a very difficult time. Could the wages be risen? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I don't know if we could raise the wages enough to get them into $1 million homes that we see today.
Right, exactly.
I don't know if that's really realistic, right? If we start to say, okay, you know what, $30, $40, $50 an hour, is that going to be enough? No. But opportunities, business opportunities to thrive in, we're seeing more food trucks and other opportunities. And if we create those doors to be open for people to thrive on trading products and services to get them into homes, I think that might be a more fit discussion to get locals into the $1 million homes that we see today.
Well, you're singing my song, Mr. Davison, so thank you for your responses. Thank you, Chair. No further questions.
Thank you, Member Johnson. Member Sinensi, your questions.
Mahalo, Chair, and mahalo, Mr. Davison, for your willingness to serve. And just continuing on the lines of Mr. Johnson's questions, you mentioned, maybe supplementing people's salaries with other businesses. I remember in Mr. Johnson's adept committee, he did bring up some businesses that could diversify within our economy. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts about continuing with agriculture, as well as I believe at that meeting he mentioned more fishing industry. those types of things. Do you have any ideas what we could diversify besides that?
Yeah, there's a long history with Hawaii and agriculture. And while I'm not born and raised here, you're looking at a Holly guy here from Idaho, and I've gone from potatoes to pineapples. That's my story. I had a business called Mr. Pineapple for 20 years, worked closely with the pineapple farmers, Haile Miley, the West Side, as they did organic pineapples, worked with the folks in Kauai and on the Big Island doing their white pineapples and all kinds of fruit and vegetables. And you're absolutely right. We need to keep that historic agriculture right here in Hawaii. We need to provide more opportunity to go from 30,000 acres of growing pineapples down to less than 1,000 acres in Haile Miley. That's awful. And it hurts to see our local industry, what was thriving and booming, to be lost. And I agree. The fishing, the farming, everything like that is got to be brought back to life. That is what is part of what makes Hawaii Hawaii. And I'd love to see ideas of how to make that happen. Competing with bringing in food from other countries. I think we have everything we need right here on Maui to be sustainable. It's a matter of having the right minds and people to be able to do it. Just give you a quick example. Working with a farmer out of Florida, he's growing farms and fruit and vegetables where it's growing much faster. He's figured out like a recipe kind of thing, all right, where it's growing much, much quicker. If we start networking with farmers outside of how they're doing that, it might help our locals be able to achieve those kinds of things.
Right, great. Thank you for those responses. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Members Anansi. Members, any other questions? I hope you all received Jared's letter of support for this nominee. And as we all know, as I feel, Jared, I hold him in high regard. So if he holds Mr. Davison in high regard, I can respect that. Member Kama.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Mr. Davison. I just have a few easy questions. What branch of government did you serve?
I served in the Army Reserves for 24 years and retired in 2023.
And you served in your hometown?
Great question. I served all over. Yes, and my final 5 years of service was out of Fort Shafter, Hawaii. I flew back and forth over there.
Okay. Wow. And so my second question is, you're going to be serving on the Salary Commission, and they just decided to give us all a raise, and there was some hoopla about people thought that was too much money. But the job we do is a part-time job. But when we end at 12 o'clock midnight and we go for days and days and days at a time and working late at night, and even though we have committee meetings on 1 week and the next meeting is supposed to be an off week, an off non-committee meeting, those are the weeks that we meet and the days we meet with our constituents and have meetings and get to know the community a little better, and they get to know us. So bearing all of that in mind, and you weigh the amount of time spent and how much time we're putting into this part-time job, do you feel like it's equitable?
I was watching it closely, that discussion go back and forth. And I think, with any job, the salary increases from the mayor on down, I think it can all be justified as long as we see the fruit and the work being put in. And just like you explained it, right? You provided facts of, there's off meetings and all this extra time and part-time. And the answer is yes. And sometimes that's what the public doesn't know, right? And the words can be kind of twisted through the media and everything like that. But the end result is there's a lot of work to be done. And is it paying enough? even with these increases, let's face it, we all don't get paid enough for the amount of work. And I believe that, yes, it can be justified, and even more so when you see the fruit of bills being passed, the growth of businesses, the growth of the economy, the growth of Maui, and what we can do for everybody. And is there a dollar that you can even put on that? Is there value? Probably not, to be honest with you.
Well, thank you for that answer. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Member Kama. Member Sugimura.
Yeah, thank you. Interesting background. I'm reading your resume that you provided, and I can understand why you thought you wanted to be with the Planning Commission, just with your broad breadth of experiences. But I do support you for what you really are saying is that you'll do anything to help the community, I think, and take that step forward. And I hope you continue on. You have done financial literacy classes. Is that what I'm reading? And why did that happen?
In my background over the last 20 years on Maui was, like I mentioned, doing pineapples, and I did a clothing line company, and I did a tropical floral business from the Big Island. And as I was doing all these businesses, yes, I was helping locals and tourists alike in the different industries. But 5 years ago, I opened up a financial business and helping with life insurance, trusts, and retirement planning, helping people get out of debt, things like that. And I found that I could help people a lot more in that area. Everybody's got money problems. So, but as the agriculture was diminishing, I found that I could be more effective in the financial industry. So I did do that. I transitioned. I closed down all my businesses to focus on the one and expand that business throughout all the islands, and then extend it out to the mainland as well. Through that, we teach a lot of classes for free. We don't charge. In fact, here's an example. We sent 3 of my agents out this last weekend out to Hana. And they met with about 90 kapunas, teaching the elderly how to set up their own trusts and helping them with financial planning and stuff like that. And it was a very successful event. And that's an example of kind of what we do for the community, is a lot of teaching and educating in that area.
Fabulous. There's a lot of need for that, I think.
Yes.
Everybody needs money.
Absolutely.
It can help, so. And that's exactly some of the things that we need to do with Bill 9 that is before us, right? Is that financial literacy and training and how to set up your budgets. I think those are all part of, living in a community and living life. So thank you very much. I support.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Member Sugimura. Members, any other questions before I close out this meeting? Seeing none, as a reminder, this resolution was posted for no legislative action because we're going to be voting on it on the council meeting of the 8th, because our due date is July 12th. So I will now defer this item without objection.
No objections.
Thank you very much. And so members, oh my gosh, this is like a 32-minute meeting. This concludes the Government Relations, Ethics, and Transparency Committee meeting. Thank you very much.
Good job.
It is now 2:02 and this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Kelly.
much.